TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond.
What's up, family? Welcome to another edition of Talk Show Kings. Oh, I'm not king at all. Hold on, D. Joe Biden? D. Joe Biden.
And the thing about what the CDC is saying now is that once these tests are allocated to the people that need the test, those numbers are going to skyrocket it.
We can do that. Hey, you can go to Egypt, but you better have your little black ass back on this porch. Hey, street light, come on, you ain't there.
If I give my woman 100% and she hurts me, see, I ain't got nothing to give nobody else because she's taking it all.
What's happening? What's happening? What's happening?
What's happening?
Listen, we are live. The Talk Show Kings are back, man. It's King Mel right here. We got King Dot. We got King Trevor. We got King Lundy. They're going to introduce themselves, but I just want to say it is a glorious Sunday, and, man, I cannot be more excited to be here. But before we get into that, man, go ahead and introduce yourself to my left.
I am King Lundy. Thank you so very much for being here. And America, we did it. America has voted, and our vote counted, and we are so proud to be here today.
Peace and blessings to my family worldwide. Shout out to my brother Adrian down in Florida. It's going to be all good. Just want to shout out everybody in America, the 75 million Americans who went to the polls and spoke out real loud. Listen, if y'all didn't know before, you're going to learn today.
I like that. Hey, your boy Georgia Boy Doc coming at you live from Douglasville, Georgia, where we coming at you with Talk Show Kings. We about to jump into this with 2 feet. Y'all ready?
Here we go.
Y'all ready, Kings?
And yes, we
do
are.
this.
Listen, I am here, man, and I cannot tell you how stressful these last few days have been. But yesterday, when the weight was lifted, I felt like Lou Ferrigno. I ripped it open. You feel me? But listen, we gonna get into this presidency, man. Listen, new president on the horizon. We got Biden. We got Kamala in there. We spoke. Our voices were heard, and we got rid of the great tangerine. I'm happy.
Well,
King Lundy, what you feeling?
I feel ecstatic today. I just feel a sense of greatness. We have come a long way. You see, I'm wearing my blue to represent that the blue wave is taking over, and we're not done yet. We got 2 more seats in the Senate that is going to put us above where we need to be in the House, and they're right here in our very own state of Georgia, and we're going to pull through. Come January the 5th, we're going to vote for who we need to vote for in the Democratic Party, and we're just excited to be here, and we're going to win this thing.
Yeah, I'm just glad that the people of America spoke out and made their voices be heard. It just feels to me like a great big negative spirit has been lifted off the country. Whether you agree with Donald Trump's politics and his policies and what have you, it just feels like a negative energy has been blown out of the country, and that feels good. I mean, anything that makes you celebrate feels good.
Right.
Yes.
And the celebrations have been going on like crazy, and Atlanta is lit. But don't think it's over. We need this energy to keep going. Like he said, on January 5th, we need to go out and vote for the Senate.
Absolutely.
Because just like Mitch McConnell, Murder Mitch, just like he blocked Obama and Biden the first time, he's going to try to block Biden and Harris this time. There were over 100 judge appointments that Obama and Biden tried to do that Mitch blocked. But he rushed all these 200 plus judges through, as well as when he blocked the highest court judge from Obama. And then they said, publicly that if it's within a year, that they would hold the judge to the next election. But they didn't do it this time, which just goes to show their integrity and lack of character. However, we need to vote so they no longer have the majority. And it's not even about if they were Republican or Democrat, because if you don't know, I feel like most of them should go. I feel like that, we need a much younger Congress and a much more honest Congress.
We do.
So
Definitely.
it's about getting somebody in there who has some sense of integrity, honesty, and who does what's best for America, regardless of what their party says.
Exactly. So you need somebody in there who has a moral compass about themselves, one that isn't broken.
And
And
Deputy
we've seen
Dupas
that.
definitely
So,
needed to go.
I seen something that said, hey, it feels like America has just broken up with her abusive boyfriend.
Absolutely.
Woo! Get that weight up off you. Get that weight up off you. You feel me? But man, listen. I was stressing watching that. I'm talking about I'm up all till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Got to be to work at 6 o'clock in the morning. Still trying to see if Nevada was gonna come through. I listened to Nevada. I'm not gonna lie. I know y'all got Reno and Las Vegas and all that where you come with, but y'all gambling with the fate of America.
Yeah.
Y'all only had 3 million and some people. I don't know why are y'all still counting that. My son is 2.5 years old and he can count faster than that. I'm gonna need y'all to get it together. But Pennsylvania came through.
Yes, they did.
Arizona came
In
through.
a mighty way.
Georgia turned blue. North Carolina, yeah, y'all can stay pink, red, whatever y'all want to be. But right now the people have spoken, and man, listen here. Woo, we pulled the Mike Tyson and bit part of
And in
it.
all of the states that perform outstanding, especially as far as the Democratic Party is concerned, I want to say to the American people that democracy and truth finally stood up. The whole Biden-Harris campaign was about democracy. It was about truth. It was about justice. And Joe claimed it all the way from the very beginning to the very end. I strongly believe that democracy and truth is going to take us to the next level. I think that the House will turn around, and I think that in this next election coming up with the Reverend Warnock, and I think with John Ossoff, I think that if we can get those passed January the 5th and get them into the Democratic White House, I think we'll be successful.
Definitely. I think that'll be
And I think we'll take over.
change.
And Mitch will still be Mitch, but we still
have a
have a
majority.
better hand in the House than what we have
Yeah,
now.
somebody with a
If he's
younger
not in the
view,
majority-
somebody with a more open-minded view as to what the people need, because America is not the same as it used to be.
That's right. Very well said.
Mitch
They're
McConnell
not.
has never been about America.
Right.
Mitch McConnell,
He's been
he
about
claimed,
Mitch McConnell.
he came straight out and said his goal was to make President Obama a one-term president. What does that have to do with America? That's before he even started.
That's right.
When Rush Limbaugh said, "I hope you fail," he was okay with that. How do you hope the president of the United States fails? What kind of nonsense is that? Regardless, when Trump actually got into office, I didn't hope that he failed. I wanted him to succeed. I didn't like him because of his lack of integrity and his lack of any kind of moral standards, but I was hoping that he did the best for America. So for anybody to say that they hope the president fails, then you really have things messed up, because the president is a representation of America. And what people don't realize is Congress is stronger than the president.
Right.
If the president vetoes something, Congress can still vote it through. And the second time, they don't even need the president's approval. So we need to make sure that we come out strong in all of these elections. We need to make sure that we come out strong and now make sure that we getting businesses. Make sure that we hiring each other. Make sure that we respecting one another. We got to get. It's a lot of things we need to do, but hey, we started.
I think we'll have a better chance now, though.
Oh,
Yeah,
definitely.
I was really impressed with how Joe Biden came on towards the end of his campaign, because if y'all remember, what they were saying about him during the middle of the campaign was that he has dementia, he can't speak, his mind is gone. But at the end of his campaign, Joe Biden came on really strong, and this is what convinced me to get out and vote, because for a long time, y'all all know, I was on. I can't say I was on either side.
Hold on, stop the press.
Convinced.
Did you vote?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, let's give us a round of applause. Yes. Oh, man.
And thanks to King
Absolutely,
Doc for convincing me. But
absolutely.
I was really impressed with
Man,
how Joe
absolutely.
Biden came on at the end of his campaign.
Yes,
And then, of course, Kamala Harris did her part. So, I mean,
yes,
it was
yes.
a really emotional. And the other thing that I was impressed with was Joe Biden and Kamala Harris ran a really high morale, high moral campaign. They didn't attack They could have attacked.
Yeah,
They could have done a lot
they
of
had
personal
definitely
attacks.
a lot of
Of course,
ammunition.
but they didn't
Definitely.
do that. He showed the character of this country and brought the country together,
Took the
and
moral
that's
high
what
ground.
I think is his
Absolutely.
number one job moving forward. It is healing the nation and bringing the country into the fold of what America is really all
See,
about.
we have to realize
Yeah.
that, again, Congress has more to do with it than the president. If we put Biden in office and we have a Republican House or a Republican Senate, almost everything he tries to do, they can block it.
Absolutely.
So if we don't really get out there and vote in those, then
Well-
we're really doing him a disservice because he'll get blamed whether things change or not.
Absolutely.
So if things don't change, he'll be
Yeah.
blamed for it, but it may not
Exactly.
have anything to do with him being at fault.
Well, I want to just go ahead and say this first. First, King Trevor, you are not by yourself. For the first time in my life, I voted.
Get out of here.
Yes, because listen, I had other things, prior history things that blocked
for
me
you,
from
good
doing
for
that.
you.
That's fine. I made stupid decisions, but I voted for the first time, and I voted, and it counted, and I felt good about it.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I don't want to hear about my vote don't count. Mine counted. It counted. We turned Georgia blue.
Yes, we did.
We did that.
Hey,
But
And that is huge.
Yeah, it is
That
very huge. You step
Georgia
in-
has historically.
Yeah.
Yes,
Has Georgia
it's-
ever
yeah.
voted Democratic?
Since
It says 1992.
Since 1992.
92.
92 is
Yeah.
the last time.
About 30 years ago almost.
But I gotta
to
say,
paraphrase
man,
Young
you know,
Jeezy,
yeah.
my vice president's black and my state is
First of all,
blue.
my president is
And,
black.
and
My
if you
vice
don't like it,
president black.
Pennsylvania is too. I'm
But
just
man,
saying. I'm just saying.
I seen something that was disturbing to me, man. I seen a lot of people, man, and some of them were black, but majority of them were white.
Yeah.
I mean, far majority. But I seen them saying stuff like, "Oh, Joe and the hoe." You know what I'm saying? Let me explain something to y'all, man. Everybody has a wife. Everybody has a mother, sister, aunt. You know what I mean? Just because you didn't agree with, him choosing her or her being the one or whatever her policies or whatever for man. You didn't have to go out and put out memes saying stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That was real disrespectful and childish. And if nobody around you in your circle checked you on that right there, then they just as unsavory. They deserve to be hung out like one of them dusty rugs and beat until they're clean. That's what needs to happen. But hey, listen, whatever you want to call her, she is your vice president now.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yes, yes, she is.
And she deserved,
She deserved
to be in that position because he could have went either way and picked any other candidate.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm strongly believing that Joe Biden knew that to pick Kamala Harris, she would give him the best opportunity to secure the presidency. And it's a great thing that he did because the women love her, the American people love her, and she's loved by many, and that helped him get the numbers that he got, especially from the women vote. However, they are saying that statistically that Trump captured the majority of the women black voters. Can you believe this, what I'm about to say, as well as the majority of the black men vote?
That's not what I got.
Absolutely.
What I got is
I couldn't believe that.
9 out of 10 black women
Right.
voted for Joe Biden.
That's what I got,
4
too.
out of 5 black men
That's what I
voted
got
for
as
Joe
well.
Biden. 2/3 of the Hispanic population
Right.
voted for Joe Biden.
When I heard that, I was like, are you kidding
No,
me?
that's not right.
That may
Yeah.
they may have been in a particular area.
Yeah, particular area that
over
may
the
have
United
been,
States.
yes.
I
Okay,
saw
well,
the
it
same
must.
thing he saw.
And I tell you where I got the information from. The show come on Saturday morning called the Georgia Gang.
Okay.
Janelle,
So it may have been talking about
absolutely.
Georgia.
And she's a strong
What?
Trump supporter.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
well.
being a strong Trump supporter,
There it
to me,
is.
a lot of them are dishonest.
Being a
So,
strong,
I mean,
yeah, you know,
That's
being,
what they do.
being a strong
wanna-
Trump supporter got you one thing: out the White House.
I want to thank.
You better believe it.
I want to thank Stacey Abrams. I want to give a
Absolutely.
special shout out to
Stacey,
Stacey.
yes.
Abrams.
Big up, Miss Abrams.
Stacey
Yes, big
Abrams saw that they were purging voters, and she went on a grassroots, or she started a grassroots organization,
Yeah.
and she got over
To make sure they count
800,000
those
people.
votes. Absolutely.
Made sure that they were registered. 800,000 from one person, from one person's due diligence and one person's efforts. Stacey Abrams, I commend you and I thank you.
Shouts out,
And
Stacey.
you are definitely great representation of the intelligence and the strength of the black woman.
Yes.
And that's why I feel like y'all should be celebrated always.
Absolutely.
I can see Miss Abrams on the presidential ballot.
She gonna be in
2028.
something.
She needs to be,
And
man.
she
She
gonna
definitely
be in
needs to
something.
be.
Absolutely.
She
I
definitely
can,
needs
I
to
can
be.
see them
Yeah.
awarding her Secretary
Yeah.
of State
Yeah.
something. She deserves
Absolutely.
something.
Listen, whatever your thoughts are of her, you know what I mean? I think that, like you said, that woman right there deserves to at least be on a presidential ticket or somewhere in Congress or the Senate or something. Because, man, she acted and carried herself with integrity. You know what I mean?
She
does that. And when she seen there was a problem, she didn't just say there was a problem. She got out and did something about said problem. And it goes to show you, back to that old saying, the only thing necessary for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing. She did something so that the evil wouldn't continue to persist. And hey, man, if you do something, Miss Abrams, you got my vote.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
I've always learned that experience is life's best teacher. Because she experienced this type of thing in her own campaign for governor, that she knew firsthand, Doc, that this type thing happened to me. And through experience, I'm going to make sure that it does not happen in this presidential campaign.
Exactly.
And she stood up, and like Doc said, a grassroots effort, and she made all the effort in the world by getting 800,000 people.
But I will tell you
to
this.
vote.
She got 800,000 people, and we'll be back in less than 30 seconds. So y'all stay tuned right out here to the Talk Show Kings out here on TV 1061 in Douglasville, Georgia. We got more coming for you, man. The Kings will be right back.
Good afternoon. I'm Lieutenant Elmer Horn with Douglas County Sheriff's Office, and we're here in one of our communities, and Sheriff Pounds is here with us. And Sheriff Pounds is very involved in his communities, and he come out. We brought out our grill and our smoker so we can come out and help cook for this community. And Sheriff Pounds himself has come out and helped cook with us, and he's here to cook and help these folks today.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of the programs that I call Taking My Community Back. If you don't get out there and get involved in your community, you ain't gonna be able to get it back. And the sad part about it, we losing our young men at such a pace that it's unreal. We got to come up with something that will help us with these children. Got to. So this is what I'm doing. I love it. I'm out here in the sun. It's hot, but like I said earlier, we're gonna do these until we get that gap between law enforcement and the community bridge. We're gonna bridge that gap because we're gonna get out of here, we're gonna shake hands, we're gonna find out if they got any kind of problem we can assist them with, and invite them to the sheriff's office and come to the roll call. Just come see what's going on at the office. Thank y'all so much for being here.
Thank you, Sheriff Pounds. And like I said, this is just one of many events that we bring this grill out to help with our communities and get involved. I'm here today at one of our community outreach days with our sound truck.
Hi, I'm Michael Cowell, your funniest man on the planet, and you're watching TV 1061, your global network. Stay tuned, because that's how they do it over here. Big time party. All right, see y'all later.
Hey, man, listen. If you're still tuned in, we appreciate you, and go and tell your friends about us. The Kings
Kings are back.
Listen, y'all fellas, we're going to kick it off. Go ahead over there to King Doc. You know
all right. Angela Smith Gorham says, I'm glad Georgia got it together in the end. Way to stand up. Hey, we try. You know, Georgia, Atlanta is, ethnic, but Georgia itself, yeah.
Okay.
Angie also says, I'm concerned about his base that is out here protesting with guns. That's why I took my gun and had it in my car when I went to the polls. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. We got a lot of work to do. Ain't that the truth? And old girl is severely underqualified for that job. I don't know her qualifications, but we'll see. Geneva Lundy, thank you for watching. She says, hello, Kings.
Hello, Mom.
Preach, Doc. I hear you. Yes, Mel, you watching. And those are our comments. When I give a shout out to Stacey Abrams, I want to give a shout out to all black women. I always do because, I admire you so much. The things you do as far as being single parents and raising, raising men the way you do is phenomenal to me. And I'm hoping that, during all of this, that the black family comes back together, because a black man and a black woman make a strong black child, in my opinion. We just have to learn how to get along with each
That's
other.
right.
Learn how it's not a competition. It's a union. How we work together instead of apart. Back to the election though. The election is phenomenal. We want to give a shout out to our executive producer, Mr. Felix Washington. Hey, Felix, you back there in the back? Yeah. Okay, I want to give a shout out to Treasure, our new production assistant.
Treasure.
I want to give a shout out. and we want to give a shout out to our media director,
Shantae Barksdale.
Shantae Barksdale.
Shantae.
And even though the young man
Jason.
is sick, we want to give a shout out to Jason.
Jason
Fuller.
Pulley.
Jason, man, feel better, man.
Feel
Yeah,
better,
yeah.
Jason.
We're coming at you live, having big fun out on TV
1061 in
Listen.
Douglasville, Georgia.
Hey, before we continue on that, I just
Yeah.
want to give condolences to the family of Bishop Rance Allen.
Rance Allen,
He did
yes,
pass away on
absolutely.
October 31st.
Alex
Right.
Trebek
Yeah, man.
passed this
He-
morning.
Yeah, also
man,
we lost
he's,
Alex Trebek this morning.
Oh, we lost Alex Trebek this
Yeah.
morning?
Yeah.
Oh,
He
My
had a
man,
long
Jeopardy,
battle
yeah.
with
yeah,
cancer.
Colon
long battle with
cancer.
cancer.
Yeah.
We're sorry to hear about that, Alex, man.
Absolutely.
He made game show night controversial.
Yeah,
I'd be
yeah.
watching the show, couldn't get the answer to them questions. I'd be mad as I don't know it, but I learned a lot.
Hey, what's up, O? Thank you for joining us, man. Appreciate
But
it.
yeah, man. So you know, with this whole election process moving forward, you know,
Right.
when he takes over in January, you know, I would like to see some different things done. You know, he said he's gonna undo some things that the Trump campaign did, but I hope he doesn't spend his whole first 4 years trying to do that like
Right.
Trump tried to do Obama. But you know, King Trail, what you feel about that, man?
Well, I mean, what do y'all think should be his first order of business when he takes office? What
Well-
do you think he should do first? What should he make
I think his first
priority?
order of
Right.
business should be to reestablish the pandemic response office to make sure that it's overseas and that it's looking overseas, and to deal with the coronavirus, because almost all of our problems are almost all of our immediate problems are a direct result of the coronavirus. And to me, that whole
Yeah.
whatever mentality of doing
Right.
nothing
Right.
and just let it infect people is insane.
Let me ask you this:
Right.
would you be in favor? Because he floated this idea during his campaign. Would you be in favor of him instituting another 30-day hard national mandatory lockdown? Would y'all be in favor of that?
No,
Definitely.
no,
I would.
I wouldn't.
Absolutely.
And I'll tell you why. We are just establishing ourselves back into the communities. Whereas before, when they had to shut down, communities was closing doors, people were losing jobs, they're losing homes, they're losing everything that they worked so hard for. So if we were to go into that same aspect, and we got to take under consideration that even though the virus is getting into its second phase, that first phase near about killed us. But now we are in a position where if we do more, if we wear our masks, continue to wash our hands, stay out of large gatherings, we can better protect ourselves. So to close the communities down, to close it down, would be a step backwards for me. And Biden has already said the number one thing that he's going to do, matter of fact, he's already doing it. He's establishing a new task force for the coronavirus. So the people that Trump had behind it, he's establishing a new one. And that's just my personal take on it.
Me personally, I'm not against it if it has to be a 30-day hard quarantine. But however, if there is a 30-day hard quarantine for those who are considered essential workers like myself or whatever, right? Man, if we're going to be out here dealing with it, he needs to put in a place where these people are going to be paid. You know, there's a lot of relief money that people that's still just floating around there that people never got, you know? If we're going to do a 30-day hard quarantine, then for that 30-day hard quarantine, you need to go ahead and establish some type of money that's going to be given to the families that are going to have to be stuck inside for said period of time, because again, they can't work. They still have bills. They still need food. So if you're going to do a 30-day hard quarantine, I am not against it if you implement something that's going to keep these families afloat for this time, because there should be nobody being kicked out, evicted, going hungry, anything like that. You know?
Me, I'm all for it because the virus has a 15-day lifespan. So in my mind, if everybody takes the quarantine seriously, then you'll eliminate the majority of the people with the virus. If it lives for 15 days and is not spread, is unable to spread between people, then in 30 days, most of the virus should be gone. And then he's talking about after the 30 days, he wanted rapid testing available. I feel like that would be tremendous, because now you don't have to wait 3 and 4 days and you've given it to 12, 13 people unknowingly. I don't think most people are going out there trying to spread the virus. But if you don't know you have it and you walking around giving it to people, it's the same thing. But if it dies off, the majority of people lose it, then it's easier to contain.
Yeah, certain countries.
Exactly.
Certain countries like Australia and New Zealand did that. They
Exactly.
instituted like a 4-month-long
And now
hard
they don't
lockdown,
even have
and
it.
now
Right.
they have 0 cases.
Exactly.
So, you know, I remember when it first came out, I was not in favor of this lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
But when you hear evidence like what's going on in Australia and New Zealand, you can't fight scientific evidence.
Right.
And if
Exactly.
he does institute a 30-day harsh lockdown and we get rid of it, brother, I mean, that's going to be like Christmas for
And
the whole
then
country.
think about this as well, though. Those countries, when they did the lockdown, they were giving each family, you know, $3,000-4,000 per month to live on.
Yeah.
So, you know, in America, which is supposedly the richest country, multi-billion-dollar corporations was giving billions of dollars.
Sure.
But the citizens,
Right.
some citizens, was giving $1,600, and that happened once. Once.
I never received any of my pandemic money.
Yeah.
At all to this
So,
day.
so you understand
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
as
I-
far as, you know, I
Absolutely.
mean, we need support to support
And
Americans.
you know the sad thing about
show enough-
the voting complex as it's taken? Do you know a lot of people, Kings, they voted for Biden because they wanted another stimulus package?
I can believe that.
A lot of people went to the polls and they're saying in their mind, I'm going to vote for Biden because when Biden gets into office, he's going to propose a larger stimulus package. I can stay home more. I don't have to go. American people, listen. It's not that way. The government was not built that way. As far as we are concerned, before Donald Trump leaves office, he can sign over another stimulus package. I doubt if he would.
Could have already done it.
Absolutely, could have already done it. But Nancy Pelosi is doing her best. And if it does not work, because we have 73 more days from today that the inauguration of our 46th president, Joseph Biden, will take place. So if it has to go after that, then I ask that you gird yourself and just take care of your finances for what you have now and just wait, be patient. And it's going to come. I think that payday that they want will probably come, just not because he just got in the office, Doc. King Mayo, King
Well,
Trevor. It's not
again,
gonna come.
it's about Congress.
Yeah,
Even if he went
absolutely.
in and proposed it without Congress's
Right.
approval, nothing would happen.
Right.
Sure enough, a hobo scratch. What's up, bro? Would you expect stem cell research? I'm not above anything. Mika, thank you for watching.
Hey, Meek.
Sure enough, 401k was hit when the economy was shut down. Yes, you have to expect things to be affected, but we're talking 1 month for something that lasts 15 days.
Yeah.
We're not talking about 4 and 5 months.
Yeah.
And then the way things were done, if businesses are open and people are ordering food online, then you're still supporting those businesses. You know, if people are delivering things, you're still supporting an economy. Maybe not the same as you know, when everybody's out. But once the virus is cured, we can get back to life as normal. And until the virus is cured, we're not going to. When you have over 1,000 new cases
Right.
a day, per day,
Yeah.
when now it's hitting more people than it did initially, and people are still dying. There's over 230,000 people dead, and they're expecting that number to double before the end of the year.
And that's
Before the end of this
Before
year?
the end of the year.
Oh my God, really?
and that's crazy.
170,000 more deaths.
Wow.
Yeah, so you know, a
And- yeah.
30-day
Wow.
mandatory shutdown is not a bad idea. But like I said, there has to be something in place in order to make sure that it goes over successfully. Like if you're gonna establish something with that 30-day where the elderly people who can't get around good, they can order their groceries, and somewhat we can have people go and deliver their groceries to their home so they don't have to get up early and battle the younger people in there buying $800-900 worth of groceries, leaving
That's
the
the same
shelves
thing I was
empty.
trying
There
to
has
say.
to be
Right,
something. So I'm like, Doc, if this is expected to double by the end of the year, if the Lord's willing at the beginning of the year and you take office, that needs to be your first priority, getting us over the hump of this pandemic. And after that, then go back in and start gutting out the policies. Because I won't say that every policy that Trump signed is a bad policy, right? So that's not what you're doing, because he tried to make that claim about Obama when it wasn't, and you gutted the very system that would have helped you during this.
Definitely.
You know, so no, go back, look and see what's good, and all the bad things, get them out. All the good things, keep them. That's how you move the country forward. You know.
But
And I know one
again,
of
you
the
have to have Congress's help.
One of
Yeah,
the
Congress needs to be
one
on
of the things that I'm most sure that he will do, and Kamala Harris spoke of this, is health care for the American people. Because we all know Obama tried to, not Obama, I'm sorry, Trump tried to destroy Obamacare. He tried to take that care away from people that need it. And the thing about it is, most of the Republicans, even from
from Leffner to Jones here, even in Georgia, they want to do away with health care. Even in the midst of a pandemic,
Yes.
how can you get rid of health care in the midst of a pandemic when they so desperately need it? And that's one of the reasons why we still have Obamacare. We still have health care for the elderly, for people that desperately need it. And I think that when Joe Biden comes to the table with the Senate, I think that would be one of the major sit-down resolutions that he can take place and help people with their health care. Because we all need it.
Every other country in the world,
Absolutely.
every other first world nation in the world has universal health care. How can we not have it? It's a no-brainer. I mean, I think it's a necessity, and it seems like something that should be like a given. It shouldn't even be a debate.
Right.
But when you say it's everybody should, that's the difference in the Republican Party, because they say, and they stick to, that health care is not a right, meaning that everybody shouldn't.
Right.
So just like when Obama was giving his speech and the Republican guy yelled, "Let him die," as sensitive as that was, he wasn't ousted out at that time. There's no way that should have been acceptable. Let him die, referring to an American citizen?
Sure.
Now, I hope the show don't die when we go to break, but we gotta go.
The show won't die when we go to break, but when we come back, man, listen. We're going to keep right up on this presidency because, man, we are all excited. And you know what? We are the talk show kings, baby. There's a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about it. Be right back, man.
How can you find a reliable source of CBD products? Introducing Holistic Wellness Boutique, a revolutionary collection of CBD tinctures, CBD topicals, CBD edibles, CBD pet products, and other relevant CBD products that help you incorporate CBD into your everyday lifestyle. The best part? Through our special Radiant Transformations program, Dr. Alea Daniel, PharmD, a well-regarded wellness coach, licensed pharmacist, and the mind behind the idea of Holistic Wellness Boutique, will also introduce you to a healthier lifestyle through proper education, nutrition, and a thorough medication evaluation to make the most of our exemplary CBD products. If you are struggling with a chronic condition, we can help you discover how to live a more holistic lifestyle through wellness coaching and the proper selection of hemp-derived CBD products. Visit holisticwellnessboutique.com to schedule a consultation or order an audacious combination of hemp-derived CBD products that will rejuvenate your mind, body, and spirit. How can you find a reliable source of CBD products?
Are you an artist, a writer of spoken word? Do you have content ready but need exposure? Get to know me. I'm Alicia, host of a new Facebook live stream show called The Flavor, where we promote local and international talent of all genres. Here are some rules and regulations to the videos that we'll be accepting. They must be radio ready, no cursing, no lewd language. You must send us contact information as well as a YouTube link to your video so we can extract it from there. Email us at 1061tv@gmail.com, and we thank you for your time. Are you an artist, a writer of spoken word? Do you have content ready but need exposure? Get to know me. I'm Alicia, host of a new Facebook live stream show called
What's up, family? Welcome to another edition of Talk Show Kings. Oh, I'm not king at all.
Hold on, the Joe Biden?
The Joe Biden.
And the thing about what the CDC is saying now is that once these tests are allocated to the people that need the test, those numbers are going to skyrocket it.
We can do that. Hey, you can go to Egypt, but you better have your little black ass back on this point. That street light come on, you ain't there.
If I give my woman 100% and she hurts me, see, I ain't got nothing to give nobody else because she's taking it all.
All right. Hey, listen, man, we are back But before we continue into the conversation, listen, we just want to give a couple of shout-outs.
Shouts.
On Wednesday, we want to give a shout-out to The Flavor.
The
It comes
Flavor.
on at 8 p.m. You know, tune in for all the new music and local artists.
Right.
You know, we're trying to get them up and out there.
Here comes
you
the
know what I
new
mean?
flavor in
and
your
then
ear.
at 9:30 p.m. on Wednesday, you going to tune in to The Playlist. You
The
feel
Playlist.
me? Get your groove on, watch the videos.
Yeah.
It's all love, baby.
Big
Then on
time-a,
Thursday,
time-a.
Thursday, you got the Bedroom Chronicles
Hey.
at 6 p.m. I might need to do an interview on that. I got a few stories. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you. But then on Saturday, we also got One Nation.
One nation under a groove. Give it to
Hey,
you.
we getting down.
Okay, you're showing your
Okay,
age.
because
You're
I'm
showing
going
your
to sing. Y'all know me, I can't sing a lick. You know what I'm saying? That's the One Nation at 2 p.m. Then on Saturday at 3:30 p.m., we got The Conversation. Join in
Conversation.
and get some feedback on
Let's
that. Then
talk
on
about
Sunday at 4:30 p.m., we got the Talk Show Divas, those
Talk Show
beautiful
Divas.
ladies. Beautiful, beautiful ladies
Oh,
with
yeah,
that
they came
beautiful
through
show.
with today.
And then, following right after that,
Right after
y'all
that?
know where to be at.
What they got?
6:30 p.m., you got The Kings.
The Kings.
The Kings. Cause can't nobody do it like the King, and can't nobody sing like Eddie Kane. You understand? But yo, listen.
So, hey,
Listen, man. Back to the conversation.
Let me ask y'all this.
Yes, sir.
Kanye West,
Oh Lord.
60,000 votes, 12 states.
Right.
Do you think Kanye can pose a formidable campaign, run a real campaign?
Can I just
I
be the
don't.
first to speak
I
on
don't.
that?
Go ahead.
Let me just be the first to speak on
man
that.
raised his hand.
Listen. First of all, for all of y'all 60,000 people that did that, y'all are some buffoons. Y'all are idiots. I'm calling it out.
How do you feel about that, man?
Why would you vote for a man who walked around in a silver suit with a silver face and blonde hair? Talking about he had been church in the...
You know what that says to me, though?
Uh-huh.
You know what that says to me? It says to me that 60,000 people
Have lost
did
their minds.
not want to vote for either Joe Biden or
Right,
Donald Trump and
absolutely,
needed
yeah.
an alternative. And even though that alternative was Kanye West, they were like, I'm not voting for you. I'm not voting for you.
Right.
Kanye, I'm giving you my vote. That says
right.
something about what's going on in and only 12
Right.
states. He was only registered on the
and-
ballot in
right.
12 states. 50 more votes, 50 more states. That I don't want to do the math real quick,
Right.
but that's over 100,000 votes that he would have gotten if he had been registered. I mean,
And I
so-
bet you that if they would have done closer research, out of those 60,000, probably 20,000 were fans
absolutely.
that bought his music.
Oh, of course.
You know, of course.
Well, see, that's why I don't give it much
Yeah.
credit, because Kanye West is a musical genius. I will
Yeah,
not take
yeah,
anything from his
yeah,
musical
yeah.
aptitude.
Absolutely.
However, common sense, the man just seems lacking, in my opinion,
Yeah.
and he's too bipolar.
Yeah,
I don't know if
Kanye has admitted that he's
I mean,
bipolar.
Okay,
Yeah.
see, I didn't know he was diagnosed
yeah.
bipolar,
The
but
man
I've
on
seen his
bipolar
reaction
medication.
as far as for him to go up and down as far as switching. There's no
Yeah,
way
yeah,
we can have
yeah.
him dealing with a foreign dignity
Yeah.
and
Got
clicking.
his hand on the finger on the button. We can't
Yeah,
have that.
yeah, we can't have his hand on the finger. That he might have a episode. He just decided to press. What happens if it says do not press? Then you have like that Family Guy where Peter just has to press the button,
You
and
guys
then the finger
really-
just keeps doing.
You know that there's really no button.
We
that the
know
president can
we're just
message
using that. You know what I'm saying? You know you have to insert the code. But this is what I'm saying. Listen, 60,000 people voted for Kanye West because they didn't want to vote for either candidate, right? If you're gonna do that, why not just write your own name in there and be done? I mean, I just can't wrap my head around somebody putting Kanye West down as a capable candidate. Like,
But see, you say I, and I'm agreeing with you. I can't
Right,
either.
yeah.
But I don't think that it was a thing where they didn't want to choose Biden or Trump. I think some people
Legitimately wanted
legitimately
Yeah.
thought that Kanye West would make a good president. For whatever reason, they see something in Kanye West
I
that
wonder
they
what
think will make a
age
good president.
bracket they were that
I
voted
feel you
for
on that one.
Probably
Now,
around
hey,
the same
hey,
age
Yeah,
bracket.
I would vote for Dave Chappelle.
Exactly.
Dave
What age
Chappelle is
bracket?
capable, though. You
I-
listen
I
to Dave
would,
Chappelle, and you listen to the man talk, you can understand that there's far more there than just comical genius, right? With Kanye, yeah, he had musical genius up until a certain point, and then his music just fell off. It's like when Snoop Dogg made a gospel album, and everybody was sitting there like,
I didn't even know Snoop
Snoop.
Dogg made a gospel.
this is me when Snoop made the gospel album. This is
Yeah.
me. Snoop, you rolling up Snoop.
Spliffs.
Snoop.
Hey,
You rolled up your phone
putting
talking about
water on
making a
his
gospel album. I'm just saying. What
You know
are
he
you going to do in there?
he made a track with Rance Allen, right?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
When I think of Rance Allen, I think of that one song with Kurt
Something
Franklin.
about
How I
that
love
something
you.
about that name Jesus.
Something
How
about
I love
the
the
name
name
Jesus,
Jesus.
yeah.
You know, something about the name
Something
Jesus.
about
But you
the name
don't
Jesus,
think when you hear Snoop making an album, all you can think of is gin and juice.
Yeah.
I'll
And
let you have that.
Doggy style, and it just don't go together.
Let me ask you another question.
Robert
Go.
Wright III, hey King Robert.
Hey, Rob.
He's watching. Angela says, how about he be the governor first, get some experience first, homie. Governor of where? I don't want Kanye in any kind of politics where I wouldn't vote for him. But that's me. I'm only one person, but I wouldn't vote for him for the school president, the PTA president. So I can't imagine him.
I would not
know
vote
that's
for him
right,
president
dog.
on a
But that's
video
me.
game.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me ask you another
I
question.
Run it.
Let me ask you another question.
Yeah.
Are we being interviewed?
I'm
Do it.
All right, so when Joe Biden gets inaugurated next year, he will be the oldest inaugurated president in American history, 78 years old. Do y'all think that's too old?
If you're in terrible health, it's way too old. Biden had what do you call it when you go had a doctor check you out?
Yep.
And they came back. He was in good health to be a man of it. Matter of fact, he was in better health than Donald Trump, and Donald Trump is 3-4 years younger than he is.
Yeah.
So if you're an older guy and you're in terrible health, the presidency would not be a good position for you. But if you're in good health, because you got some 80-year-old people that are walking better than some 40, 45, 50-year-old people.
This is true.
I think it's entirely too old because I think that his mentality is outdated. Even though I wanted Joe Biden over Trump, I wanted Joe Biden over Trump. I didn't want Joe Biden. I would still have voted for Kamala, but I feel like that we need to stop letting Congress and all the government be 70s and 80s years old. I just think that those ideas are antiquated. I feel like they're not stuck because they can change, but I just don't feel like their mental is as acute as somebody who's younger and fresher. And younger people tend to be less racially motivated about things.
Most definitely.
I mean, because to a lot of younger people, race don't matter. Who cares about your race? What are you doing? What are you talking about? How are you going to move us forward? And that should matter more. But that's my opinion.
I think that him being too old for president, I will say this here. Yes, he is old, yes, right? But I also believe that his time with Obama,
Right.
he learned some things.
That experience.
They always talk about how he was not for integration back in the day. And let's just be for real. If we got to be honest with ourselves, integration back in the day had a tendency to be a very violent situation, especially if you were African American. That was a hostile environment, and it could have became a hostile environment for kids of all colors. Had we say, okay, well, if you're going to be violent, well, I'm going to be violent. We're going to do this back and forth. But throughout the years, I felt that he learned something, and after those 8 years with Obama, I felt like he got a closer look as to what it's like to be around an African American family, and see that they had more values than what they were talking about on all the TV shows or the internet or whatever. And in doing so, he chose a black woman. After being around Michelle Obama, he chose a black woman to be his running mate because he knew and he seen that, hey, it was all about the content of her character. It wasn't about the color of her skin, and he did that. So you're never, like I say, you're never too old to learn.
Let me ask you a quick question. You think Joe Biden ever had a pig ear sandwich or ate some oxtails?
You really did Obama. He probably ate some oxtails.
What was
in
that
the
first
past,
one?
A pig ear sandwich.
Pig
and some
ear
oxtails.
sandwich.
Nah, I'm black and I ain't never ate
I've
that.
never eaten one
I
of
ain't
those
gonna
either.
lie.
I've never
I've
heard of
eaten
that.
both.
Absolutely,
and I
you better
still
say
eat
that.
oxtails.
Absolutely.
But that's
So-
not the point. Back in the day, that motherfucker was, excuse me, I don't know if I'm supposed to say motherfucker. But back in the day, that motherfucker was just straight up racist. I mean, back in the day, Joe Biden said that, if the schools integrated, they would turn into jungles. So, now I give him credit for changing. That was 40 years ago.
Yeah,
So his
yeah.
point of views can change. But I'm not giving that motherfucker credit for any, excuse the cursing, but I'm a little agitated with that. I can't give his past any kind of credit because he was not a good person at that time.
I don't think that he meant jungles as far as you know,
He meant jungles in the worst possible way.
But no,
he
but
was
no,
racist.
no, because I can say that I don't think that he meant jungles in that way right there. I will say this right here: if you are in a jungle, you know what I'm saying. When you have different animals cross paths, right? They have a tendency to be territorial and hostile.
Right.
That happens. Even with primates, you have monkeys, you have chimpanzees, you have gorillas, you have all of this, right? But they all stick to their said type and their said environment, because if one comes into another, they're territorial. So I can see it being that way, because if I close my mind and I don't try to view it all around, I'll begin to have that hateful mentality.
Are you going by what he said, or are you going by how you're thinking about it right now?
I'm going by how I think about it as far as integration is concerned.
I'm talking about
I want
what
to
he
know what
meant
jungle,
when he said it.
I want to, what jungle are you talking about when you say jungle? The jungle
I'm
of
talking
black
about
people,
back
the
then,
jungle
he was calling
of,
us monkeys.
Oh, okay,
and everything else.
that's what I
Back
thought
then-
Doc was saying.
Yeah,
Back then, Joe
Okay, now,
Biden
but what are you
was
saying? What jungle are you saying?
I'm taking it as in it becoming a hostile environment because of the racial tension that we was talking about. Because again, at that time, integration was dangerous. You've seen that with that little girl that had to be, that one girl that had to be escorted by police and everything, because there were grown white adults trying to spit on, attack, and beat her. If that's not animalistic, like, I don't know what is.
What caused Joe Biden to change from being such a virulent racist to the
He
person
had to
who's-
change.
He changed with the
he had
time.
to,
In my opinion, exposure.
He had to change. Yep, exposure as well. Yeah.
Until very recently, I can honestly say that I was homophobic to a certain extent. I'm not necessarily afraid of a homosexual, but I had never had any conversation with a homosexual, and to me, it made no sense. I can't understand. I still can't really understand it. However,
You've come to a place where you're willing to accept it. It's not your lifestyle, but they can do what they want to do.
I have a few friends now, but I had met a male who's homosexual, and we held an in-depth conversation. He talked about how his father tried to beat it out of him, how they tried to pray it out of him, how he thought about committing suicide and things of that nature. And I'm thinking, how could this be a choice? Who would choose that? He wanted to date females. He tried.
But
it made him nauseous just to perform. To be with a female.
Yeah.
So I can't say that that's a choice he made. But who am I to judge him? You know what I'm saying? So it made me check myself inside.
Right.
So I can say that I may still be a little homophobic in that I don't understand it, and it definitely ain't my thing. I'm not with it. I'm not ever willing to try it. However, I'm not going to condemn a person who is. I think Joe Biden had that same realization. Once he came into contact with someone and actually spoke to him, got to know him, then he realized it's not what he thought it was. But at that time, I would think that most of the people he was around had that mindset. So he had that mindset.
But how many black people during those times when Joe Biden been in politics 47 years, say his first term in politics, there were not a lot of black politicians in his era that started along with him. Definitely. So of course he was in the White House with white men. He was in the Senate with white folk. He was in his community with white folk. So of course how he was raised, like Doc said, he had that same mentality as you are a product of your own community.
Exactly.
But he had to get around blacks. And when blacks started to get in the House and get in the Senate, and Clarence Thomas came into effect as the first black with Thurgood Marshall, then Thomas, but he was able to, he had to have a mindset.
Well,
I ain't gonna say have to, because there are a lot that
we're talking about Joe Biden getting into the White House and getting into, you know, his own person after exposure. But right now we have to expose you guys to this quick break, and we'll be right back, and we'll be right back to get into this house, the House of the Kings. We right here, man. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Burke's Jewelry. How may I help you?
We're looking for engagement rings.
We offer a wide selection. However, I believe we have just what you're looking for. Burke's Jeweler is your family's jeweler at 491 Flat Shoals Avenue Southeast, Atlanta, Georgia 30316 in East Atlanta Village.
Hi, I'm Michael Kyle, your funniest man on the planet, and you're watching TV 1061, your global network. Stay tuned, because that's how they do it over here. Big time party! All right, see y'all later. Bye. Hi, I'm Michael Kyle, your funniest man on the planet, and you're watching TV 1061, your global network. Stay tuned, because that's how they do it over here. Big time party! All right, see y'all later. Bye. Hi,
Introducing Holistic Wellness Boutique, a revolutionary collection of CBD tinctures, CBD topicals, CBD edibles, CBD pet products, and other relevant CBD products that help you incorporate CBD into your everyday lifestyle. The best part? Through our special Radiant Transformations program, Dr. Alea Daniel, PharmD, a well-regarded wellness coach, licensed pharmacist, and the mind behind the idea of Holistic Wellness Boutique, will also introduce you to a healthier lifestyle through proper education, nutrition, and a thorough medication evaluation to make the most of our exemplary CBD products. If you are struggling with a chronic condition, we can help you discover how to live a more holistic lifestyle through wellness coaching and the proper selection of hemp-derived CBD products. Visit holisticwellnessboutique.com to schedule a consultation or order an audacious combination of hemp-derived CBD products that will rejuvenate your mind, body, and spirit.
All right, listen, man. We're back in here. The Canes are back, and we're gonna get into the miseducation of Joe Biden. Sorry, sorry about that. Listen, no, for real though, we back, man. We're gonna kick it back off, man. Go
when
back.
we talked about the young lady who was escorted by the police and the National Guard in Arkansas,
Right.
she was spit on.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, they
that's what I'm
really
saying.
tried to attack her, and they have videos and stuff that show how she was treated. I do understand your point.
Yeah.
But I'm not giving Joe Biden a pass on
Right.
what he did.
Okay.
I'm saying now he's not that person anymore.
Okay.
But back then he was a terrible human being.
But
so
I think-
I'm still, I'm going to acknowledge who he is now, but still acknowledge who he was then.
Right.
I think he has an incredible opportunity right now
Right.
to heal the nation.
Yeah, I
and
do
to
too,
show
yeah.
what you're saying, King Doc, that his character has changed.
Exactly.
The country has never been as divided
That's
as
right.
it is right now. 75 million people voted. About 37 million people voted for Joe Biden. About 36 million people voted for Donald Trump. That shows you
Yeah.
that the country is split.
Right.
I think this man and his vice president,
Right.
Kamala Harris, have an incredible opportunity right now to heal this nation
And
and
that's
to
what
put
it's
us
gonna
back
take,
on the
yeah.
pedestal
Right.
of the America that we all would like to believe we live in.
Have you seen the parties and the partying that's happening?
Oh, yes,
There's so many
yes,
different
yeah.
diverse
Yeah,
groups that are just dancing together and
absolutely.
happy and out there celebrating. I mean, we are, even though he hasn't been inaugurated into office yet, you can already feel the change.
It
Right.
feels to me
does.
like it felt when Obama.
Yes,
It does.
yes.
It
Like
does,
a celebration.
Man. It is.
We've
Yes.
stepped into a completely different vibration of
Exactly.
humanity, and the whole
This
world
is how
is celebrating.
This is how people are treating the success of this election. People are so happy, and I kid you not. I was looking on the internet.
Right.
A lot of people have been like, "Coronavirus be damned." We are out here celebrating. They are together because
yeah.
it's been so. This character was so unsavory, man. And he's just been so divisive. His rhetoric, his actions, and everything. You know, people try to do that almost that Where's Waldo type deal. You
Yeah.
remember that Where's Waldo? Used to try to find him on the little thing or whatever. And in the sea of Trump's wrongness, they put one good speck. Well, he did this for HBCUs.
Well, he proposed this because he
See, that's not gonna cut it for us. We don't care about that one little thing he did for HBCU because, and totality and all as a whole for black people in this country, what you did was brought out those people who hate us the most.
Exactly.
And we got to see a lot of people who we were friends with, went to school with, and everything that did not back us.
Right.
They tried to say, well, he did this for black people. We're looking at him like, they did this for black people. He should have been doing it for people, period. But he hasn't done much for us. Because if you cared about the people at all, we would have had more than one stimulus check right now, right? And people wouldn't still be suffering and going through these things right now. But you mishandled the coronavirus, mishandled the stimulus checks, and then you even threatened to withhold the stimulus check if you didn't get elected.
Now,
Showing up Hobo.
Go ahead.
Showing
Go
up
ahead,
Hobo Scratch says, Yuck, history has taught black people to pacify white people's behavior. It's not the Southern heritage being adapted by the Klan. Yes, the Confederacy of the females did that. I can't think of it right now, but it's on top of my head. Or the crime reform where he let some folks out. Yes, when President Trump actually did let people out, but it was, I won't say it was tens, and Obama let out thousands. It just wasn't as popularized or as talked about. And the hobo says again, because the system worked, because had Trump won, it proves your vote doesn't matter. I feel you on that one. Now, think about this for a second.
Okay.
One person said that the system is rigged for them to lose, and millions of people agreed with him, regardless, without any kind of
research or anything, knowing it.
Millions of people have said that the system is rigged against us, and we're told to be quiet and stop whining.
Absolutely.
Think about how ironic that is.
Exactly, because it doesn't favor them. Go ahead, Lindy.
Now, getting back to the excitement that King Mel was speaking of earlier, before, I guess about 5 or 6 months before the election, even before early voting, there was a somber experience across America. You know, in churches, on the job, everybody was feeling somber. There was disbelief. The stimulus money had stopped. The evictions had started, and you would hear people getting evicted and losing cars, because I've had to listen to people, you know, in my minister, people called me in Minister London, pray for me, and that's exactly what I would do, pray for them. But it comes a time when people, they heard enough praying. Now they need something to be done. You know, I can't tell everybody, honey, just, Minister Lundy just took my car, the sheriff's knocking on my door. Well, pray, honey. It's too late to pray if they're knocking on your door. But now, even in my church, shouts out to Pastor Paul and Travel the Rest Missionary Baptist Church, there was a wonderful experience this morning in church where people were in jubilee. You know, everybody was happy. You know, the church had, and even though we are in our gymnasium now, social distancing, didn't forget, Pastor, you know, so people were feeling good about themselves. And good. When I got up, and my wife called me yesterday, and she said, they've classified Joe Biden as the winner. Because I was at work, in my office. I'm like, what? Already? Because I was waiting for Georgia and Nevada and those states. Right there at my desk, I just felt
the weight of the world.
A weight of the world.
Did you see that news commentator started crying when he was talking about
Van Jones?
Yeah, Van Jones. And if you can't understand, I was saying, if you can't understand his passion, why he's crying, why he feels so, because now it feels like that there's so less of a threat. Right? When Trump was talking that nonsense, he really had people thinking that there may be some kind of civil war or something. There may be something, and people are still talking that nonsense.
People are still talking. You see how much ammunition flew off the shelves? People have been buying it.
I got mine.
You know, but I'm gonna touch on what you said. King Lundy. You said that you know, is a time out for prayer, and even in the Bible.
No, I didn't say it was a time out.
No. Well, you said telling them prayer is not enough. You know what I'm saying? Right. Prayer is always time, but it's gonna go back to the Bible. It says faith without works is dead. So you can be out there talking about some, God gonna bless me with a job. God gonna bless me with a job. Oh, he gonna bless me with a job.
But you ain't looking for a job.
If you ain't looking for a job, if you ain't putting in an application, there's no blessing to be had. You're a sloth, you're lazy, and that's how that's gonna work. So, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, what do you think we in our communities as black people can do? Physically do, not just be happy, but what can we physically do in our communities now that, you know, the devil is out of office and we've got a new chance? What do you think we should do?
I think initially we need to make sure that we start businesses. I think we need to start businesses in our community. We need to hire each other. We need to treat each other with a degree of respect. We need to learn that females are not just sex and men are not just money. We need to put that value back in each other to where we appreciate each other as human beings. We appreciate women for the strong characters that they are. And the women appreciate the men for the strong characters that we are. Understand that we're different, different, and that the better
Yes.
that we're better together.
Right.
Yes.
Then we need to make sure that we go back and talk to our children, regardless of how old your child is. My dad still talks to me, and I'm 8 years old. But I'm saying that people need to go back and talk to their
Yes,
children
sir.
if you got some kind of sense. I think that we need to make sure that we're trying to get the police out of our neighborhood. We want to drop the crime rate to where we're not worried about police shooting us all the time because now they're not there. There's no need for them to be there.
Exactly.
But we shouldn't need it. You
And
know what I'm saying? Right
again-
now, the poverty level keeps crime in our area.
Yeah.
But if we get ourselves out of poverty, then there's no need.
And that goes right back to what we were talking about a couple of weeks ago when you brought up about those 19 families, those 97 acres, and like you said, starting businesses. I myself am now working on my credit because I have to do that. I had something on my credit, and I didn't know that when I took it off, it would actually drop my credit down absolutely, because I really don't have credit like that. You know what I mean? But I'm going to have to get a secured card and build it up and build my credit score, but I'm going to do that. So when I go to apply for this small business loan, I can do that. You know what I mean?
And that's when when Lundy, when you talked about earlier about the banks, was it you or Lundy? One of you guys talked about the banks saying that they are going to commit a certain amount of money to black businesses. That's one of the things we need to do.
Yeah.
So I applaud you in your efforts to raise credit.
And also to answer your question, what do we go from now? We can see that out of the 75 million, 37 million voted for Joe Biden. But guess what? It took those 37 million to what? To come together.
Absolutely.
Queen Latifah made a song some 30 years ago called
UNITY.
Yes. I think the first thing that we should do as American people, not black people, not white people, not Hispanic people, but as people, we should join forces and be unified with each other. That way, the democracy that I spoke about earlier will come into play, and we unify with each other and build businesses. Black people, okay, hey, build businesses. White people, build businesses. Hispanic people build business. But let's do it in a culture that we all understand. See, a lot of Hispanics don't know our culture. We don't know theirs. You can tell somebody, Guy te la boca. Guy te la boca.
Yeah, shut your mouth.
You don't know what that means? I do. It means shut your mouth. But a lot of people don't know because they don't know that culture. Now, we can say something in the black culture and they will know what we're talking about. So my thing to answer your question is, if we come together in unity, I think we'll be better prepared for the oncoming century that we're
going. I think it was surprising. I'm sorry to interrupt. I think it's surprising that 2/3 of Hispanic voters voted for Joe Biden, because historically Hispanic voters vote Republican.
Right.
But they say, Joe Biden had something to say to these Hispanic people, and they came out and voted in favor.
I mean, when Trump was coming out calling them murderers and rapers, and kill children in cages, there are over 5,000 children that can't even find their parents. That they can't find their parents.
Right.
But now, I apologize. The unity thing, it sounds wonderful,
Yeah.
but we have to make sure that we look out for us.
Yeah.
Because the communities that we live in are segregated normally. Normally, you live by people who look like you, and that's just a fact.
Right.
I'm not trying to say that it has to be like that, but that is how it is. So while it's like that, we need to make sure that we own the barbershops, the stores, and all these things in our neighborhood. I'm not saying don't go to Walmart, but I'm saying go to Lundy's laundromat before you go to wherever else you go.
Absolutely.
Go to Trevor's townhomes before you go to whoever.
And then you want to come to Primus Landscaping Concepts and Innovation. Exactly. That's what's going to happen.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying we need to develop those businesses. We need to hire us, and we need to circulate our dollar in our communities, and then go out. I'm not saying don't ever. I'm not saying treat anybody differently.
But
Somebody
you
else
have to have
comes
a
in, give them
strong
that same
foundation.
respect.
Right.
But on that same note, we have to develop us. Because until we develop us, until we have some kind of platform to where we're respected, right now we make the least amount of money, but we spend the most. Who are we spending the most with? Because we're not definitely
outside
lifted
of our
up.
community.
So we need to put that money back in our community,
Right.
and then once our community is lifted, then we start sharing those economic.
How many times did they say that the dollar is circulated within the Asian or Chinese community before it's actually like 7 or 8 times before it actually leaves out? And we know ours is not like that with us.
6 seconds.
Yeah. So
the black dollar stays.
6 seconds.
The black dollar stays in the hand
hand
6 seconds.
So think about it. If you see a black business, man, listen, patronize the black businesses. Patronize your own struggling people's businesses. And to all the black businesses, listen, man. I am preaching patronage to those businesses, but you got to make sure you carry yourself with integrity. There has to be a standard in which you carry your business.
Exactly.
Don't try to rip people off.
A lot of
There
times
won't
it's
be
not
anything
before you
to
even
it.
get to the check.
And
The customer
stop
service is
asking
so
for
bad.
the
The way you're treated. I mean, treat me just like you would treat anybody else that comes in.
Stop
If I'm
asking for a
coming to
hookup,
spend money.
man. Stop asking for a hookup. Stop asking for the hookup.
Yeah.
Because if you come to me and I got my business and you telling me, I'm asking you for, then hook me up. Yeah, I'm gonna come back to you when you got
The
your money
hookup
back,
should be the
'cause
best service possible.
And I want to ask.
I'm gonna give you hookup service.
I'm not from Georgia. I just recently moved
Right.
down here. Brothers, what's up with the customer service down here?
Because we don't respect each other. We think that it's better to be a thug or a gangster or the women to be bosses or something like that than for us to respect one another. I can't walk up to you and say, hello, sir, because a lot of times you don't want to be called sir because it makes you feel old.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with the respect I'm trying to show you. You don't approach me with hello, sir, for the same reasons. So when we walk into a business, it's not a respect level. It's a thing where people are trying to be friends or trying to be bosses over each other. And then you give some people a small amount of power and they act a glutton fool up in there. You know what I'm saying? Instead of trying to treat somebody how they want to be treated or even treated them with a certain degree of humanity. They want to try to flex their little muscles.
you gotta stop
And we
trying
got to
to
quit doing that.
That's
That's
exactly
a
what
topic
it
we
is.
can talk about.
Yeah, you gotta stop
Yeah,
trying, and we'll get to that another time because sometimes y'all just want to overcharge when you get your little businesses. I understand that, but unfortunately, man, listen, we have come to the time of the show that we regret the most, and that is the time that we have to let you all go so we can get to our families and you can tend to your business. But before we go, we want to give our shout outs and our love, so we're gonna start to my left with King Lundy. Do your thing, man.
Absolutely. Shouts out to first and foremost to the American people. Thank you so much for making the decision that you made. You made a decision based on how you feel. You made a decision based on democracy. You made a decision based on truth and justice, and I appreciate that. I want to give a special shout out to our own Mayor Keisha Bottoms, who played a major role in the development of our new president, that is. Shouts out Keisha, which is my neighbor, by the way. Thank you so much. And I want to give a shout out to my mom, Lady G, Geneva. I love you so much. Thank you for tuning in and watching. To my siblings, and most of all to my beautiful wife, Natalie Lundy. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon. Peace. We love you.
Shout outs to the voters of this wonderful state of Georgia. I appreciate y'all taking us and bringing us across the threshold.
Absolutely.
Glad to be a resident of this fantastic state. That's all I want to shout out.
Welcome.
Shout out the American people. Thank y'all for being here. Peace and blessings. Everybody in the world. We'll see y'all next week.
I want to give a shout out to baby girl. You know you're my heart, and I love you with everything I am. I want to give a shout out to all my military people. If you're a veteran, past or present, thank you for your service. And hey, on Veterans Day, find out the places where you can go eat free. I want to give a shout out to the people in the back, Mr. Felix Washington, Miss Treasure back there,
Miss Treasure,
Mr. Jason Pooley, and Miss
Shantae Barksdale.
Shantae Barksdale.
Thank you,
Shantae. I always
Shantae.
want to call you Cassandra, but that just stuck in my brain for whatever reason. Give a shout out to my mother, Miss Regina Janice Schofield. I love you with all my heart. Hey, my nephew Shamar is watching. Thank you, Shamar. I appreciate you. My father, Mr. Kenneth Allen Moore Sr. I appreciate you as well. And my crew, my military crew. Hey, y'all. Thank you. And Tyree, I ain't trying to be Samuel L. Jackson. You mother. Boop. Okay. So,
Yeah, listen, man. And me, I'm going last but not least, man. I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. I want to give a shout out to all the American people. And it doesn't matter who you voted for, man. I'm going to just be clear here. The two people that don't know you and you truly don't know them should not divide you. However, take the time to understand one another. See where the other person is coming from. Because without understanding, you can't get anywhere. You know what I mean? I want to give a shout out to my friends and family, all my loved ones, my kids. You know, I love you. I always tell you that I'm doing it for you and Daddy's coming. It may not be right here, but I will be there. Believe that. And without further ado, the Kings are going to let y'all get back. Because listen, can't nobody do it like the Kings. We out,
Can't
man.
nobody
Y'all
say like
blessings.
Eddie Kane Jr.
Yes.
What's up, family? Welcome to another edition of Talk Show Kings. Oh, I'm not king at all.
Hold on, D. Joe Biden?
D. Joe Biden.
And the thing about what the CDC is saying now is that once these tests are allocated to the people that need the test, those numbers are going to skyrocket it.
We can do that. Hey, you can go to Egypt, but you better have your little black ass back on this point. And stay like that. That street light come on, you ain't there.
If I give my woman 100% and she hurts me, see, I ain't got nothing to give nobody else because she's taking it all.
TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond.